Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jens and hope you guys are having a great day today. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to actually do state management with GetX. So in the previous examples, I showed you the implementation of controllers and how do you use the GetX widgets and the bindings to sort of connect your variables to your UI layer. So in today's video, I will actually be showing you how to set the states properly if you want to see these changes happening in your UI layer. So now let's get into it. So to start off, first I just want to show you guys how the app works so far if you haven't seen my previous videos. So basically you just have a screen where you can increment from the button down here, and actually I'll print it out. So you can tap this button and it will increment value from the home controller. All right, so what we could do now is we could actually just print out the variable to just see it happening. Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, so as you can see down here, as I tap the button, this variable count will increment 21, 22, 23. And the reason why we use an rxint instead of an integer is we have to use these variables to see it happening in real time. If we go here to the home view screen, we could see that all I did was set this to 0. So it's just a string value at this point. If you see, nothing will actually change. But what you actually want to do is, instead of 0, you want to wrap the widget with a, it's called an GetX. Let me just see here. And you have to pass the controller. And now as you see, specifying the controller over here. So it's home controller. And now all I have to do is take that same controller that we used on the button and actually just point to the variable itself. So I can do controller.count dot value dot to string, and actually it's not a const, so just to that. Okay, so as you see here, the value that we have is 25, and as I press, it will actually update the or rebuild the widget for displaying the change. The way I did this was wrapping the whole home view with one GetX widget, as you see up here, GetX Builder, if you may. And this is actually not a good implementation of the way to do it, because you actually want to minimize the amount of rebuilds you want to do. That's number one. And the second part is, if you have to rebuild, you want to try to keep the tree as small as possible. So in this example, I'm rebuilding the whole page, but the only part that we actually have to rebuild is this small text widget over here. And if you are familiar with stateful and stateless widgets, one of the drawbacks of a stateful widget is whenever you call setState, the whole tree will change. Whereas using something like a GetX builder, you can actually wrap it. You just have to wrap the widget that you want to rebuild. So we can do this again. Okay, so I'll run this example again. And as you see, now we don't have the GetX builder, right? So I tap on the increment button, and as you can see down here from the logs, it is actually incrementing the value, but we can't see the change happening now. So instead of wrapping the whole scaffold in a GetX builder, so all I'm doing now is just wrapping one widget that I want to actually see the change, and the rest of the widget tree is still completely stateless. It doesn't update at all, it doesn't rebuild, it doesn't have to rebuild, which is much better, especially if you have so many variables changing at the same time. You want to keep your states as small and compact as possible. So as you see now I see the change happening again, and all of these widgets stateless except for this single text widget. There's also another widget we could use instead of GetX, which is called OBX, and it does pretty much the same thing. It listens to a change for a specific value, but instead we don't have to actually specify the controllers over here. All we have to do is, I'll actually just copy this one and remove this. Yeah, and as you can see here, it does the same thing, which is actually a little bit more convenient in some situations, depending on sort of how you use it at that point. Anyway guys, that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.